Good day to you, partner. I'm keen, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Hey guys, Wheat Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. So I had audio recorded live. I didn't want to actually take the time to record dedicated audio, but my computer fan turned on and didn't turn off for the entire video. And when that happens, my audio just sounds like dog shit, and it has a complete mind of its own. What also has a mind of its own is my mouse, which is why it didn't stop clicking there. So, if any mistake happens during the map, it's probably my mouse bugging out. Okay, it's not my fault. What are we doing here today? What is the point of this video? We're in beta. That's why the frames per second and the graphics are a much higher quality. So that is really, really cool. And what we're going to be accomplishing here is we're going to be finally doing a phys summoner build. And I want to say two things about this video and then phys summoners in general. This is not even close to optimal speeds. Caveat, it's not even close to optimal gear. I understand that. It does have basically all the necessary auras, the Beast IG. By the way, I should pay attention to see if my Beast IG dies at any point. I didn't, but it's going to be interesting. Now, I always say that a Beast IG shouldn't die, but there was one thing I did with this build that I wish I would have thought about in advance. And that is the fact that I forgot I was going to be taking off my shield as well, because I'm going to be using Brand. So there's basically three ways to run your phys summoner, okay? You're either going to have Beast main hand, which is solid, okay? You're going to have a Eternity, and then get more Udawars, Moonlords, or Thrashers. Now, every single one of those has a reason to exist. With Thrashers, I think Thrashers are actually generally better for elemental-based builds. But one of the nice things about Thrashers is that they have the best CC and the highest attack rate. And so they're always going to be useful, and they will help your ass all the time. I go with Udawars because they're the easiest to summon out of all three, and I really wanted that crushing blow, and then they do provide some CC as well. By the way, Night Lords are solid. They also have some Deadly Strike, and so they're going to be a legitimate option for this build as well, and I think all three have reasons to be ran. By the way, I had to get a Dex ring because I forgot when I take off my shield I can't run my stupid fucking Brand. So what are the good things about running the Brand variant of this build? If you're wondering, the good thing about running the Beast variant is it's the least annoying. Your IG, you don't have to worry about it dying. What would you make your IG out of that point if you still wanted an IG, made out of something? I did start the map. I'm sorry. I realized I forgot something at this point. I think that was the point I realized I didn't have enough dex to wear my my bow, and I wasn't summoning additional archers. So yeah, I think that's what happened. So what is the problem with the ring and then the Brand is I really could have used some FCR. I'm at the second break point, which is 14 frames per cast or something god awful. I do swap to a Train Gloves. The swaps are pretty light on this. I don't swap the helm at all. I don't think I needed to. I do take a little too much damage in this because my gear is not optimal, and then not having a shield really, really hurts. I went max Vita, which I think was correct for this based on the Brand, but basically, I don't think you need to swap the Circlet, but since my gear is so far from perfect, I might swap it to something else for the next video, especially if I can get a Necro Circlet with some FCR. Even if I don't get that, if I swap the Maras off and one of my rings off, actually I don't know if I can get an FCR. I'm at 20 right now. If I get one 10 FCR ring, I'm at 30. 10 FCR in my amulet is 40. A rare can't roll 20, I don't think. I think I'd have to craft it. Can a rare roll 20? I don't think it can. But maybe I'm dumb. Oh, man. So I'm going to have to swap the circlet. Okay. I really want to hit the 48 breakpoint. Basically, I'd be saving 2 frames. So I'm only running dual curse, okay? I even think there's an argument to run tri-curse with this. Now, why is that? Well, you have a little bit of extra points left over at the end. One of the cool things about this build is that you can get your max skeleton mastery, warriors, and archers 60 points, okay? By the way, really don't do that early on in the game. I don't think it's awful anymore. They did provide archers with a little bit of ED, which doesn't really buff them too much in the end game, but definitely improves them early on. But mages are just too good. Fire golems are too good. Elemental revives are just too fucking good. So definitely save this build for at least when you get fanaticism and like Tyrael's Might, and then maybe start to make this build. And then when you get your pride, you can go to your Emilio Act 2 for your Blessed Aim. So the whole difference of this now compared to the old days is that Blessed Aim is giving Deadly Strike. And basically I still get all the auras, right? I still have Beast. Yes, it's not Faith, so I'm losing one frame cut off per attack for all of my warriors and archers, which is something. It's not nothing. But what I gain is by the way, the ED and AR is negligible. What I gain is I get Blessed Aim from Emilio, and Blessed Aim is a new way to increase the damage. By the way, this is the point where I'm trying to figure out how shitty my FCR is, and I'm hating my life. Now we get a new damaging aura from Blessed Aim, which gives Deadly Strike. Now, it gives 14 at level 18, and most mercs will give you a level 18 aura. I forget the level that's required for that, but I think 90, and they're going to be giving you a level 18 aura, and you'd get 14 DS. If you give them plus 4 skills. If you give them plus 4 skills, so if it's a Tmight, you need a plus 2 helm, and you actually have to give them Arachnid Mesh. If you're wondering, the CTA buff didn't seem to work, but that could be a visual glitch. I don't think it is, though. I think you actually do need plus all skills on them. And the plus all skill from my CTA doesn't affect a static aura on them. But this is information I don't know. But either way, you can buff that up to 16. And I do think every single percent is incredibly important. So basically, all of your summons have a 5% chance to crit. Literally. Every single one of these summons can crit 5% of the time. Now they basically get a 21... they can double crit. Base monster crit can stack with Deadly Strike crit. So now there is a negligible chance they will do quadruple damage, but it exists. And there's an over 16% chance they will do double damage. In fact, I think the chance, since they roll independently, I believe the chance is 21% they will crit. Okay, what is the chance they will quad crit? It's like 5% of 16% or some shit like that. Let me see if I can do some quick math. So if you go 1.6, I think about 1% of the time they will quad crit, and then 21% of the time they will double crit. That's a pretty big buff from having a static 5% chance to do double damage before. As you saw, that boss absolutely disappeared. So Phys Summoner basically has gained what? Like a 16% buff to its DPS. Well, you take out a little bit because of Faith. Yeah, dude, my FCR and FHR is absolute crap. My bone armor absorbs nothing, and my CTA fell off at this point. This build can definitely be played faster and be played safer than what is being shown here. By the way, my Iron Golem is still alive, and not one summon has died. If you're wondering, they have no defensive auras. Emilio's not giving Defiance. I don't have an Oak Sage. I'm going with Heart of the Wolverine. In fact, it's arguable that Oak Sage would be better quality of life. The Heart of the Wolverine is giving, what, 40% ED, which affects the warriors. Let's see, they get like, what, 300 base damage, I believe, with like in-game gear. So right now we're at 250. So then 40% is 25 times. Oh God, your math is so bad. No, that's right. 10%, 25 times for 100 more damage. So 100 more damage per warrior, that's 800. And then the archers are actually probably gaining quite a bit. They're probably at 4,000 base damage right now. And I think with in-game gear, they approach 5,000. So let's say 4,000 is 400 times 4, 1,600 per archer. Okay, that's actually a bit of damage. I don't know if you need it. That would kind of be something you'd have to min-max yourself, but like Heart of the Wolverine is another aura that you get with this build to buff damage. So, what are the problems with this build? Well, as you can see, single target is not a problem. My Udawars have Crushing Blow, and they have a chance to crit. By the way, the single largest buff to any of these minions is actually the revives. Revives gain almost nothing from enhanced damage because they gain so much enhanced damage from the skill itself. In fact, physical revives, the reason why they kind of suck is because they're all ED. At least elemental revives, they actually get bonuses to their skills, so it's not just the ED that's buffing them, it's also their skills are actually getting better. By the way, the skills for physical damaging abilities doesn't really scale as well generally, especially not for the revive damaging abilities. There's a reason why nobody runs a barb with combat skillers, okay? It's a meme, trust me. So the phys revives, they actually get a 16% buff. Like, that's it. Like, ED does nothing to them. It's not even close to 300%. It's probably like 3% buff. Probably not that bad, but you get what I'm trying to say. So the revives are going to be smoking. And if you're wondering, yes, Eternity would be very good because they are the worst revive physical in-game. And then suddenly now they are a lot better. Now, are they actually the one to focus on? The nice thing about Eternity is that you can wear a shield, which you can use to get a Phoenix. You can use it to get an Exile. In fact, I think an Exile would be awesome. I'm running an Enigma right now, which is a wonderful armor to run, especially without corruptions. And I think an Exile would pair very well with that because Enigma gives me a lot of defense based on its rolls. And then I don't think I would get hit as much. My summons would have a bit more defense as well. If you're wondering, Skellies do have frame recovery and they do block. So if they aren't attacked, right, if they deflect an attack, dodge it because of defense, then it is increasing their uptime. So if people wonder why I suggest running Curse Mastery for Decrepify and putting points there, or getting 20 CM and putting some more points, or not more points, but being able to cast Weaken as well, Weaken and Decrepify actually buff your physical summons damage because it avoids the chance they will be put into hit recovery. And if you just watch your summons, you'll see them go into it every once in a while. So that's actually saving damage. It's saving frames. The problem with this build is going with more phys revives, I don't think will solve the biggest problem. Their single target DPS is already enough. Do Moonlords fan out enough to where they might operate on their own, especially if you give them a source of vigor, which say you go Eternity with Collins? Possibly. I don't think so because the problem with physical revives when they fan out is they start to block each other from being able to attack. But I definitely think there's more we can do with this, and I think it's ranged revives, possibly. Well, Skelly King out, guys. GG.
Come play with us, Daddy.